Good evening. Welcome to the September episode of the Community Lens. Thank you for joining us. Before I introduce our panel tonight, I'd like to pause for a moment of silence. We remember all the victims of gun violence. Silence can feel heavy, but it can also be a teacher. When we take time to pause and truly listen, we're reminded that most of us want the same things in life. We may take different roads to get there, but at the heart, we share the same hopes: safety, belonging, and dignity for our neighbors. I'm Kara Papa, and I'm here hosting the Community Lens. And to my left,
Hanley Hernandez, representing the North Branford Veterans Service Commission.
I'm Bunny Drummond from the Totucket Historical Society.
thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm excited to hear all about your commissions and the Historical Society. I have some community updates and reflections that I'm excited to share. So September was a month filled with community building here in North Branford, which is very important. We came together, we talked, we learned new things, and we networked. The Community Connection Day we talked about in the August episode and in our addendum, our first podcast, was a great success. We brought people together, we brought organizations together, and there will be more opportunities for the community to have access to things that they need. Thank you so much to BH Care for hosting. The Connecticut Tenants Union, as they were discussing on our August episode, reached a milestone. They won a contract with Capital Realty. Not only is that amazing for the Park Ridge tenants, but they are now expanding across the country. So all of Capital Realty's tenants across the country will be able to be included in this contract and get what they need from their for their homes. Closer here in North Branford, the Congregational Church held both of its first fundraisers that we discussed, the military whist and the outdoor event on the green, where they had some vendors and some food trucks. That was amazing, and they have more coming forward this year. They are going to hold a Christmas carols program where people can join in service and joy, and they are also going to have a event where you're going to make a twisty craft, and they have a menu. You'll see that during the show at the end in the flyers. I apologize, I couldn't remember the name of it. It wasn't written here. And then I also want to introduce a student-run organization at the North Branford High School. She is a sophomore, and she started the Open Door Project Rise for people in the community that may be vulnerable, may need help, or may be couch surfing, or have some other need. They can find a safe place to reach out to without shame and can be supported. You can follow them right now on Instagram, and will be hearing more from them. They are collecting items for care packages. So if you can follow them at Open Door Project Rise, that would be wonderful. And then the Crafters Care event is coming back to North Branford. It will be October 11th. That's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That supports the North Branford Food Pantry, all proceeds, and it's in the Duties open lot. It's been going on for many years now, and it is a great place to go. Parks and Rec will also be holding the Trunk or Treat, and I don't want to steal the veterans' thunder, but I'm sure there are some other events coming your way there. So on Community Lens, we invite organizations and individuals to come share their stories. Stories matter. We talked about this at the Community Connection Day. I listened to a podcast that's called Something Was Wrong. It's a podcast with small voices and people get to tell their stories in a safe space. I think it's a really important perspective, and it's a reason that I started this show, because the show should be about all of our voices, not just the voices that we hear and see every day. We should be able to tell our own stories. So just remember that everybody deserves dignity, including your neighbors. So I leave you with one reflection. When you are reading posts or you are posting political messages, do you mean to take dignity away from our neighbors? I don't think that we do, but I think sometimes that's how it feels, and that's just my lens to consider. Thank you for being part of this community. Together, let's keep making space for listening, for dignity, and for each other. Thank you guys for watching. And now let's hear from the Veterans Commission.
Sure, thank you, Kara. Again, my name is Hamlet Hernandez, and I sit on the North Branford Veterans Service Commission. On behalf of the commission, we would like to thank you, Kara, for the opportunity for us to tell our story. Our story is a relatively new story. Why do I say that? Our commission was just recently established in 2023. It's a 5-member commission with three alternates. The commission really was established by the Legislative Council, but through the vision of the town manager as well as the mayor, they saw a need for veterans to have a voice in the town of North Branford. We have a very rich history when it comes to veterans and people who have served that have originated from North Branford, or even individuals that have moved into North Branford later on in life but have served. So it is something that we really want to celebrate. It's important to know for the community what we're not. We're not a veteran of foreign wars, or a VFW. We're not the American Legion. We are always happy to collaborate with organizations that represent veterans, or whether it be state, federal, or associations. As I said earlier, we're very much in the infancy stage of this, but it is important to for our community to understand what we do. And some of the things that we have recently done during our short tenure, we have very successfully received the Purple Heart designation as a town. That was a pretty big lift. It was not only done by the commission, but it was done really in conjunction with the town and our state representatives, who really helped facilitate that process. We're very proud of that, and very soon you will see towns in our town in major entry points, signs that designate us as a Purple Heart community. So it's something that we're very, very proud of. You also have seen us march on Memorial Day parades. Besides throwing candy out, we are there really to honor those that have made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of this great nation. And it's really an important day for us to be seen in the community. We are currently working on developing a wall of honor of veterans that have an affiliation with North Branford. And the wall of honor, it's for those veterans, some have actually passed in time, that have made significant contributions to North Branford, not only while in service, but also post-service life. So it's really about something that you said earlier in your opening remarks. It's about their story and their service, not only to the military, but to their greater communities. We are also in the works of honoring all of our veterans in North Branford, and we are working with the high school. As you mentioned earlier, some of our high school students do great work, and working with the superintendent's office, we are hoping to have a digital roll of honor, and that roll of honor is a device that hopefully we will be able to display in prominent town spaces, i.e. the libraries, or perhaps even schools, so that people can see and see their names or family member names or even friends' names that have served. Because not everybody gets to do heroic things in the military, but everybody truly is committed to service when they join the military. And that in itself is something that should be honored. And that's something that we feel very strongly about. One of the things that I thought was important, speaking to the chair, which is Zach Poston, he's the chair of the committee, and the other committee members, standing committee members, are Tony Catapano, Charles Larkin, Dan Camp, and myself, 5 members. And then we have 3 very active alternates, which are Victoria Caroline, I believe you know her, Robert Viglione, and Edward Donato. That comprises the committee. So we have 5 standing, 3 alternates. We meet monthly, and we meet at the library. We alternate this side of town and the other side of town. But we work on outreach, and let me give you an example. We just had the state representative for VA issues at one of our meetings, coordinating with us around VA issues. And on September 19th, right here across the street at the Congregational Church, there was a MIA POW ceremony, which Charles Larkin, one of our members, gave remarks at. So that outreach piece is something that we do. We also are open to feedback. Because we are a new commission, we want to start off on the right foot, ensuring that as issues come up in the community that are related to veterans, that they know that they can at least bring them to us. We may not be the arbiter of those issues, but certainly we can direct people in the right direction. And let me give you an example of that. Recently, at the state legislature, there was an exemption for property tax for veterans. We don't administer that, we don't get involved with that, but we certainly can be a conduit of information for that. That issue is addressed by the town tax collector and the assessment, town assessor, but there is something in place. The good news is that there is something in place, and we can certainly serve as a conduit of information to get that out to our veterans. So all in all, and just to kind of sum up, we're doing a lot of different things in a short period of time. We're very, very excited. There's really, really good energy, and we really appreciate the opportunity for us to tell our really, really nascent story, because it's very new, and we hope to build on that. So, and thank you again for having us.
Thank you for coming. All right. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Can we hear the Totucket Historical Society story too?
Sure. The Historical Society was going to close after COVID. And there was an announcement on Facebook saying, if you don't show up at this meeting, we're closing. And we got 40 people. And out of that 40, we've got probably 25 that are a very good group that work well together, and we've managed to put on quite a lot of events in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm currently the secretary of the Totucket Historical Society. Our president is Mary Ellen Smith Delela, and our treasurer is Donna Summers, and our vice president is Donnie Marks. Donnie's mother was a very integral part of the Historical Society for the last 30, 40 years. So it's wonderful to have him. We just had our tag sale along with the library book sale, and it was a very successful event. We are doing an open house tour on Saturday, October 4th, and it starts at 10 o'clock, I believe. Don't hold me to that. Check the website. The Totucket Historical Society .com. And there will be 7 or 8 houses open for tours. The first floor of most of the houses. You start at the Reynolds Beers House, which is where our Historical Society operates from, next to Outwater Library on Route 80. And it's $40 if you buy tickets in advance on the website till tomorrow, October 1st. And then it's $45 cash at the door. There are no refunds, unfortunately. You will pick up your ticket, which is a booklet, at the Historical Society, and you can then spend the rest of the afternoon driving around to see the different houses, and there'll be people to answer questions and direct you. This will be our first house tour in, I believe, 50 years. Oh. So it's been a long time coming. The other activity that we're doing for the fall, I run the Holiday Bazaar, which is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, the 22nd this year. And it's a way to pick up little regifty items, baked goodies. You just never know what kind of surprises people are going to donate for us. We usually have one whole room full of Christmas ornaments and decorations. And we will be selling our own Christmas ornaments that are little gold ornaments that are representing the different buildings in town, the hay rake, and some of the other stuff we're famous for here. So that's always a good event. And the same day, the 22nd of November, the library holds a book sale. And we will have shirts like these, and I believe a new winter model of our shirt available. The phone number at the Reynolds Beers House is 203-488-0423. If anyone would like to know about the history of their home or a question about a street name in town, we get a lot of those questions, and we will research and get back to you. We are open on Wednesdays from 10 to 12, and you can come through and have a tour. And we are very glad to be part of a thriving community. I'm so glad we didn't shut down.
Me too. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I have lots of questions for both of you.
Good.
I hope you have some questions for each other. So I love the idea of the digital roll of honor. I think everybody's a volunteer in our service, so that's wonderful. Do you think that maybe Totucket TV could run it as well?
I think that's a fabulous idea, and that's one of the immediate benefits of your invitation is this generation of ideas. So I believe the short answer would be yes.
Okay.
Once we get that going.
Yes, that would be amazing. And are you going to have an application process, or?
Well, there is two things going on, as I said earlier. The Wall of Honor, that's a nomination form.
Okay.
So that form is being worked on. That is a process that we anticipate rolling out and making public right around the start of the next year, the 26th. We hope, we are targeting right now on Veterans Day of next year. So about a year.
A year from now?
About 13 months from now.
Okay.
The first class of inductees will go into the Wall of Honor. Concurrently, we are working on and planning to do the Roll of Honor concurrently. And that piece, we've just started to talk about how do we collect that information. Right?
Okay.
So
Talk to the Historical Society.
Yes.
Yes.
That's and actually there's real prominent historical figures that have served, and we hope to capture that.
Yeah, that would be.
Early on.
I know that we have some Civil War people. I have the
Yes.
history book of North Branford. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Do you have any Veterans Day or other celebrations or events coming up?
On
Is that-
Veterans Day, and we did this last year, it was our first time doing it as a commission. The town of North Branford and the school system does a remarkable job honoring their veterans, where they come in and invite veterans typically associated with a student, some sort of a family member or friend, and they give oral histories, oral stories. Last year we had a presence at the high school, so we will do that again this year.
Okay.
We will be in schools, but not only as a commission, but also just as veterans ourselves.
I remember that. That was always
Yes.
very touching when they came in.
They do a fantastic
Yes.
job, don't they, with that?
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it's very nice. What kind of feedback would you like from the community?
I think the feedback, and I don't want to speak for the commission because I don't think that would be proper, but I know in our conversations, we're looking to see what are those issues that our veterans are perhaps curious about or challenged by, whether it be medical, whether it be housing, transportation, food, tax exemption, services, ideas of how to celebrate veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it runs the whole gamut, and I don't think it should be just exclusive to veterans. I think people who haven't served have some wonderful ideas about how we can outreach to our veterans. So I think that's the feedback and ideas that we're looking for.
Okay. My question is going to be just logistical. Have you paired with our social services at all? Like come out as like a partnership? Like
Not at this point.
Okay.
Not at this point.
Okay.
Again, given the early stages that we're in, I mean, we spent the better part of the first year just kind of organizing and learning our structure, and the big accomplishment was the Purple Heart designation. But to that point, I think the partnerships and collaboration within the town will only make the commission stronger over time.
That would
clearly.
be great. Yeah. And
I
especially
have one right now. And we're getting Bunny's
With-
number.
Yes. Well, with the Historical Society to help with the Wall of Honor, which is the nominating,
Right.
would be fabulous to have the names up there of all of our founding members that were in the military service.
Yeah, think about that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
We have a historian who has been doing research on the veterans in the past and would, I'm sure, be glad to help
What's
you.
his, do you have his name?
Her name,
Her name. Okay.
Nancy Harrison, and she can be reached at the number that I put out.
I'll get that number again from you after.
203
Okay.
488 0423.
Got it.
So I have a question for the Historical Society. I didn't hear anything about the Little Red Schoolhouse. Are there any updates on that?
Oh, we have had such generosity from the community. Our Little Red Schoolhouse 2 years ago was in very sad shape. We put a tarp on the roof, and by the end of the winter, the tarp was in tatters, and it looked even worse. Through the generosity of Andy Bizzuto getting together and organizing the business leaders in town, and the generosity of just individuals who appreciate history, we managed to raise enough money to restore the Little Red Schoolhouse on Old Post Road. It's a building that was on the map in 1805. It was originally where Nature Works is now, and it stopped being a schoolhouse at the beginning of the last century. It was then a farm worker's house, went into disrepair for about 30 years, and was moved to its current site on Old Post Road next to the library 100 years ago.
Wow.
It became our town library before there was Smith Library. My father had memories of walking down there to the library, and we have renovated it so that it is back to what it looked like when it was a schoolhouse.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic.
The
That's
windows have been redone so that it isn't as drafty in there. I dress in school marm garb and do tours for some of the school kids. We go into the school system every year for North Brantford Day in the spring, and we do different activities about different kinds of history, and usually I talk about what education was like in previous centuries here in town, and there's such joy in the kids when they learn that, you know, we've been here for a long time, and
So
it's,
fascinated by it, I'm sure.
yeah, it's wonderful. So we just had an open house on this past Saturday to thank the business community for all that they've done. And we will not be doing open house tours at the Little Red Schoolhouse over the winter because there's no heat.
Okay.
But I assume if you watch our website, we will start back up in the spring.
Okay.
We have the Gordon Miller Barn next to our house on Route 80.
Okay.
And that is open several times a year or by appointment. We have many, many antique tools. And we are in the process of putting the loom that we have in our historical house, having it taken apart and moved to the barn so that it can be a much nicer display and a much more efficient use of our space.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay.
A lot of stuff in the works.
Yes.
yeah, we had some cases, glass cases donated by Dudley Farm when they upgraded some of their stuff. So we're going to be putting in a second floor display in the barn about archaeology and old tools and,
Oh,
and
very
things
nice.
like that.
I know where I'm
So,
going.
Oh,
I'm fascinated by
we
that
have a
stuff.
lot going on. It's
Yeah.
so wonderful.
Amazing. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. And the holiday bazaar is on the 22nd. And I have a ticket. I will be going to the house tour. I'm excited to see all the historical houses. And my question for everybody who does it is going to be, so now we know where we were, where do we want to go in town? What's our future after seeing all the historical houses? And I'll just share on a personal note, Elfress Alley, which is the oldest lived-in neighborhood in the United States, is in Philadelphia, and they do the same thing. And they are opening their doors for people to come in December, the first weekend in December.
Ooh.
It's a really neat place. It's a small little alley. You walk down, and everybody has a sign. Yes, we live here. Don't come in. And there's there's one little museum that's there, but it's very cute. And they open their doors twice a year for fundraisers.
I love that.
as
Yes,
they-
we live here.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's neat. One thing I haven't mentioned, Kara, is that I do a program with children 3rd grade and up. It's called the Young Historians. And right now we're going to be changing our schedule because last year we met on the 2nd Tuesday of every month. But of course, as the kids age, they get different interests and different hobbies after school. So I have not come up with a time right now. But we meet at Edward Smith Library Community Room. And it's open to anyone. You don't have to be a public schooler in town. I have one very wonderful young man whose mother brings him from North Haven.
Oh, nice.
And I have some really great homeschoolers that come. And we talk about how Northford was the Christmas card capital in the 1800s, our industrial history in town, the history of dairy farming. We talked about what it would be like to be a colony and have to go to school in a Little Red Schoolhouse, and how that compares to how they get to school, what they did during COVID, what they do now, what they think they're going to be doing in the future. And it is just so energizing. So that's a very,
That's a
very.
wonderful program.
It's
Yeah, that's
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here as a retired superintendent. I'm like, wow, we should do that in the schools.
Yes.
We do a lot with the schools. Mary Ellen especially, she's back to teach, I believe she's an assistant teacher this year, but she taught in town for years. So we have a lot of good contacts with the school system.
sure.
And the kids are just great.
Yeah.
When I go in for North Branford Day, and then I see the kids out in the community, they're like, aren't you the school teacher from the Little Red Schoolhouse? It's
That's
just
so
so much
cute.
fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm fourth generation Northford. And when I was little, I went to William Douglas School on Old Post Road, which is now ACES. And we would walk down, holding hands down the street to the library. And we'd walk by the Little Red Schoolhouse, and the teacher would say, when it warms up in the spring, we're going to see what it was like to go to school in the old days. And I just remember being so excited that we had this piece of history right there where we could see it every day. And when I joined the Historical Society, I was just thrilled to become a part of it, because now I see that same spark of interest in the kids that I had. Oh, you mean that was here in Northford 200 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And it's just it's such a blessing. It
That's
really
fantastic.
is.
It is. It's amazing. Wow, you have my head going right now. I have so many things in there. But I do have one more question that I had written down, and now I'm going to. Oh, on Facebook, you have an amazing little thing going on where you go to the cemeteries and you tell the stories about
We are
the
not doing that this year. We did it last year,
Okay.
and it was wonderful, but we just were not able to get.
Well, somebody keeps posting. Maybe you're recycling them?
It's my understanding we're not doing anything until the spring with the cemeteries.
Oh, okay.
Nancy Harrison is the one that coordinated that last year, and we were in costume, and we spoke at different grave sites about the different people, and it was wonderful, but a lot of the graves have a lichen covering on them, the stones, and so we needed to really get that scrubbed, and this just wasn't the summer to do that weather-wise.
Okay.
So we were hoping to get that done in the early spring and then have another program like that at the cemetery, Bear Plains Cemetery, I believe, in North Branford end.
Okay. So maybe this is somebody else that's doing it, but somebody is posting, and I thought it was on the Totucket Historical Society page. They're going and taking pictures of the headstones, and they're giving like a little.
Oh, that's Nancy Harrison.
Okay.
She does a thing about the different people in town. She does one where she talks about a family or a company or a did you know, and then she talks about a gravestone and its history and its family. That is an ongoing thing that she does. She's our historian.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
and,
Yes.
and now I'm just thinking you could add in the veterans to that.
We
Like-
would love that.
My note
Yeah.
to self here, volunteers to scrub headstones for that collaboration.
Yeah,
It's,
That would be
amazing.
great.
That would be amazing. Well, those are all of my questions. Do you guys have any questions for me or each other? Thank you for coming
I
on.
learned so much about
Same
the Historical
here.
Society. I'm just, and I'm going to be calling Nancy.
Great.
myself, you know.
Great.
Yeah, thank you both so much. This was
Thank you
great.
so
Thank
much
you.
for having
And I
us.
look
Thank
forward to
you.
coming on Saturday, and the parade is wonderful as well. So, yeah,
Well, thank you.
We usually have our float with the Little Red Schoolhouse.
yes.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This was September's episode. We will have the October 1st addendum podcast episode next week. Hopefully we'll have a special guest for you to listen as we chat. And we'll see you at the end of October. Have a wonderful Halloween.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm the owner of Get Organized with Megan Rose. I specialize in helping people create organized, stress-free homes through my services. which include decluttering and organizing, donation pickups, and daily chores such as laundry, dishes, and tidying up. I understand inviting someone into your home can feel overwhelming, and many people feel hesitant or embarrassed. But I want you to know my services are 100% judgment-free. I'm here to help, not judge. In addition to my organizing work, I'm also the administrator for our town's free page, where I donate many of my clients' unwanted items to help others in the community. Giving back has been an important part of my business since the very beginning. I've lived in North Branford for 11 years with my boys, and I truly love being part of this community. Right now, I'm running a giveaway for 1 free hour of my decluttering service. Everyone who enters from town will receive $15 off their next session. Be sure to check out my Facebook page, Get Organized with Megan Rose, to learn more about my services. I hope to hear from you soon.